people that are available to fill those positions.
Move to accept for recording purposes.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, if we could go to item N6, that's the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce Monthly Economic Development Report for January 2022.
Know that we have had one project announcement for this first quarter, and that was in McGregor with Messer.
All right, if there's no questions, or a motion to approve the chamber report for recording purposes?
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, we can go back up to item F, budget amendments. F1's regarding the FY22 budget. Francis?
FY22 budget amendments, starting with F1A.
Is there a motion to approve F1D through F1I?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item G, bids, RFPs, RFQs, G1 is authorization of recommendations. G1A regarding bid 22-004, aggregate surface treatment for delivery and pickup.
All right, what's the pleasure on items G1A?
Motion to approve the purchasing director's recommendations on the bids.
Second. We have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right.
All right, item G1B regarding bid 22-005, asphalt emulsions for delivery and pickup.
Not what's the pleasure, of course.
Move to approve the recommendation of the purchasing director.
All right. Is there a second? Second. All right. We have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. I'd like to go to item L1. We have Shane Turner and Fiona Bond here. This is regarding the U.S. Department of Treasury Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund American Rescue Plan Act, discussion or action regarding the eligible expenses and our funding guidelines, reporting requirements, and funding request. Okay.
So I'm Fiona Bond, Executive Director of Creative Waco, and of course this is Shane Turner, owner and operator of the Hippodrome.
All right, so we will recess until 1 o'clock tomorrow. So it's 11. All right, good morning. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Friday, February 25th, 2022 at 3:10 p.m.
Thank you. And if anyone has a public comment, they can come forward now from the audience. Yes, sir.
My name is Shannon Caraway. I'm Vice President for Business Development for a company called Solar Prime. Currently, we're trying to develop another 300 megawatt solar farm and 300 megawatt battery energy storage project here in McLennan County. And it's out north of Trading House Creek Reservoir, that area there. We're preparing to submit a proposal to this body soon for a county tax abatement for the project, and just wanted to stop by ahead of time, introduce ourselves, and tell you what we're doing.
Going to D on proclamations, resolutions. We have nothing this week. Under E, under consent agenda, I have no recommended pulls. Does anyone else have a pull from the consent agenda they want to discuss? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Friday, May 13th, 2022 at 1:25 p.m.
Thank you. I'd like to call on Commissioner Miller to say a few words of inspiration while we rise, and then we'll have the pledge to the flags.
Thank you. Good morning. Psalms 116, 3 and 4 says, "The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came over me. I was overcome by distress and sorrow. Then I called on the name of the Lord. Lord, save me." Death is all around us. Death of dreams, death of relationships, death of loved ones. We call death painful. God calls it precious. We see it as an end. God sees it as the beginning. We consider death as loss. God says to count it as gain. As we bow in silence this morning, I ask that we bow in hope, understanding, and peace for our county, our state, and our nation. And I offer a special prayer for the families of Marcus Morrison, Andre McNeil, Aaron Salter, Pearl Young, Geraldine Talley, Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Hayward Patterson, Catherine Massey, and Ruth Whitfield, the 10 lives lost this weekend in Buffalo, New York. And for the Baylor graduate, Dr. John Chang, the life lost this weekend in Laguna Woods, California. Corinthians 13 in part says, "If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a clanging cymbal." Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. But when I became a man, I put childish things away. And now these 3 things remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And it's my prayer that we will take solace in the word and understand that all things work for the good of them that are called according to his purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right. Steve Hernandez will lead us in the pledge.
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We've got several proclamations this morning. Before that, is there anyone here to make public comment? And we had no one call in, is that correct? Okay. All right, seeing none and hearing none, we'll go to items D under proclamations. I'd call on Commissioner Smith.
Yes, thank you, Judge. I'd like, if I could, ask Ethan, and your mom's certainly welcome to join you up here to stand before the court. I'd like to read a proclamation honoring Ethan for his accomplishment. And I'm going to sit here so I can read it into the minutes, Ethan, okay? A proclamation of the McLennan County Commissioners Court congratulating and recognizing Ethan Pauljohn on Eagle Scout ranking. Whereas the McLennan County Commissioners Court, mindful of the importance of positive citizenship, believes in the significance of recognizing those individuals who positively affect the communities in which they work and live. And whereas the Commissioners Court of McLennan County, Texas, wishes to officially recognize Ethan Pauljohn for being found worthy of the Eagle Scout Award. Mr. Pauljohn is the son of Jason and Jennifer Pauljohn of Robinson and is a student at Eagle Christian Academy. Ethan Pauljohn is a scout with Troop 497. He has earned 21 merit badges and has held roles as Assistant Senior Patrol Leader, and Quartermaster, And whereas Ethan Paul John's Eagle Scout project was to revive Jubilee Park, which involved installing a spring rider, adding privacy fence screening, installing wooden benches, painting a 4-square court, and planting a small flower bed. This project was completed in 115 hours. And whereas as a senior at Eagle Christian Academy, Ethan shows ambition, dedication, and leadership in his day-to-day life by being the class of 2022 treasurer, a National Honor Society member, has 168 volunteer hours, is a participant in the Eagle Christian Academy pre-calculus internship program, and is a member of the Crestview Church of Christ youth group. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the McLennan County Commissioners Court does hereby publicly express their appreciation to Ethan Pauljohn for his dedicated service to their community and for the outstanding award of Eagle Scout. And be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be made a permanent part of the minutes of the Commissioners Court. Witness our hand and seal this 17th day of May 2022, and it's signed by the county judge and all the commissioners present today. I'd like to present
Congratulations. Well, that's a great honor, and we definitely would like to recognize young youth leaders that are coming up through our community. They'll be the ones that lead us, and Lord knows we need them. So congratulations, and thank y'all very much for coming. And we have a motion to approve that proclamation. And
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those pass. All right, next is a proclamation. This is under item D2, ratification of proclamation recognizing Milk King as the 2022 Outstanding Farmer and Agribusiness Award recipient. And so I'm going to ask Dustin to read that while I go to the front and ask the Millers to come up and accept the proclamation.
All right. Whereas, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture Economic Research Service, in a 2020 article, Texas ranked 5th nationally in dairy production and in its number of dairy cows, and the industry is growing despite COVID-19 and freezes in recent years. And whereas 50 years ago, Texas dairies had an estimated 355,000 dairy cows. By 2020, that number had increased to 595,000. And whereas the Miller Dairy has been a fixture in McLennan County since the 1940s, having 3 generations growing and expanding as demand for quality dairy products continue. And whereas Arnold and Minnie Miller began the Miller Dairy in the 1940s, after Arnold's retirement, their youngest son, Billy, and his wife, Shorty Miller, purchased the farm, eventually naming it Milking in the early 1970s, and continued to grow the operation. And whereas the Milking Dairy has evolved with the work of Billy and Shorty's youngest son, Craig, and his wife, Rihanna, as they continue to provide quality milk and low-temp, non-homogenized milk and raw milk products for those with allergies. And whereas today the Miller Dairy, Milking Dairy, Milking Market, and Creamery are based around the passion and values of providing the best quality milk and milk products to families. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Commissioners Court of McLennan County do hereby recognize and congratulate Milking for receiving the McGregor Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture 2022 Outstanding Farmer or Agribusiness Award and continuing to provide McLennan County, Texas with great tasting dairy products. And be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be made a permanent part of the minutes of the Commissioners Court. Judge.
Thank you very much. Again, I want to congratulate the Miller family for what they've done. And, you know, there's a lot of competition in all businesses, and agriculture is not any different. And really, your margins are tight most of the time, and there's a lot of challenges that come. I can't think of a business in agriculture that has more challenges than dairy does. And, you know, no matter whether it's Christmas or Wednesday, you got to milk. And so those cows expect it. They don't know what day it is. They just know they need milking and need to be fed. and it's a highly intensive capitalized business, that most people don't have the intestinal fortitude to stay in it. But this is a good example of what happens through generations and culture that they picked up of hard work through each other. Now, I'm gonna give you a hint. Y'all know y'all are in niches, in niche marketing. So if you can come up with an infant formula by this coming weekend, you can write whatever check you want to. But I want to say congratulations and thank you, sir. And the court is proud to present you with this. If you'd like to say anything, feel free.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, all right. Thank you all very much. I move that we approve that proclamation.
Second.
I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, next on the agenda is under item D3, a proclamation honoring the life of Ms. Ira Lee Walton. Mr. Miller?
Good morning. This is a proclamation that will be needed for Memorial Day, and we will not be having another meeting until the Tuesday after Memorial Day. And so I had meant to have it for today, but that does not seem to be the case. But, so we can do two things. We can approve it, or we can defer it and have it ratified on the 31st. But just a few things about Mr. Ira Lee Walton. I know many of you have heard about him, especially if you play table tennis. But he was the gentleman, he lived across the street from me. He was 99 years old, and he's one of the last of our veterans in our community that had served in 3 wars. He served in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. And so he has a special contribution that he gave to the One Stop, and next to it, they would like to hang a proclamation honoring his life. And so we're gonna do that on Memorial Day.
Great idea.
We could do it 2 ways. We can approve it. If so, I would move that we approve the proclamation honoring the life of Mr. Ira Lee Walton.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, under the consent agenda, we have 4 recommended pull items, E3A, E3B, E3C, and E3D. With the exception of those pulls, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as posted?
So move.
Second.
And motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, I'd like to go to item E3B, which is all right. Under E3B is Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. So, Dr. Kelm, if y'all will come up.
Thank you, Judge. It's my pleasure to be here with y'all today again. I know I was here recently just to thank you on behalf of Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, the support you continue to provide. As Judge said, my name's Donald Kelm. I'm the District Extension Administrator for Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service in District 4, District 8, located at Stephenville, and McLennan is one of my counties in District 8. I'm here today. I'm happy, excited to present one of our agent positions here and then introduce another one, an assistant position, and I'll kind of explain both of them. But today I'm going to present our applicant for our County Extension Agent 4-H Youth Development. That is one of the positions that is definitely a partnership position with AgriLife Extension and McLennan County. Today, we went through interviews. We have an applicant today that, one, she is a product of the District 8 4-H program. She grew up in Ellis County, was a very good 4-H'er in the Ellis County 4-H program. Went on to Tarleton State University, graduated this past Saturday, with her bachelor's degree in Ag Service and Development. But the most important part of it, this spring, from February through right before graduation, she served as a paid intern in the Erath County Extension Office. And I got to see firsthand what Madeline's accomplishments, what her effort, her drive, and that solidified my thought about, hey, we might have us an applicant for the McLennan County 4-H position. And sure enough, it turned out that way. So today, I would like to present Madeline McCovey for the County Extension Agent 4-H Youth Development position here in McLennan County with a start date with extension on Tuesday, May the 31st, and then with the start date officially in McLennan County on Monday, June the 6th. She will be attending new agent training starting the 31st through that week, and then be ready to roll June the 6th here in McLennan County.
Thank you. So Madeline, although you've been interviewed by Dr. Kelm, it was probably too easy, and so I wanted to cross-examine you. But from what I understand, that you're actually from Robinson, Texas.
I am. I grew up in Robinson.
Robinson, yeah. And then your folks moved to Ennis?
My mom did.
Pardon me?
Me and my mom moved to
Okay, good. And so what attracts you to become involved with youth in 4-H?
just specifically in McLennan County. I own a swim business here, and through that I've gotten to have kids from all over Waco. And then I decided 4-H is my passion. I want to teach agriculture to the youth because I think that's an important aspect in today's society. Kids need to know that chocolate milk doesn't come from just chocolate cow. I think that's really, I think that's really important. And
Now everybody knows it comes from H-E-B.
I think that that's important, and so me being young, I think that I am active and can be involved in their lives and be a good aspect to them.
Okay, good. Any other questions anyone would have?
No question, just a comment.
All right.
As a fellow graduate of Tarleton State University, I would like to qualify it saying I was not with the first class of 1899. Right? But it's a thrill for me to see two Tarleton Texans before us, so thank you.
Okay. Well, it sounds like to me that Dr. Kelm, as usual, made a great decision and a great pick, and so I'd make a motion that we approve this hiring.
Second.
You have a second? Have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, you'd also like to introduce Ashley, is that right?
You bet. And just to remind you, we did have the assistant position, then that individual that was in it before, was able to go and into a full agent position somewhere else. But here in McLennan County, I have the opportunity with one ag assistant position and one FCH assistant to identify counties in District 8 to put those positions in. With the staff here in McLennan County and the support that you provide the extension program here in McLennan County, I identified McLennan County to put the assistant FCH position. It's a position where the county just provides office space. Everything else is on extension, salary, benefits, everything is on extension. And I've identified McLennan County, one, because of the team of agents I have here, and two, because of your support. Today, as Commissioner said, we have another double Tarleton graduate. Ashley received her bachelor's and this past Saturday graduated with her master's in agriculture and consumer sciences from Tarleton. Ashley is a product of District 3. My time when I left McLennan County and went to be the administrator in Vernon, the District 3, I had the opportunity to watch Ashley grow up in the 4-H program in District 3. She's a product of the Jacksboro 4-H program. Her mother's a FCH agent there in Jack County. And so Ashley knows Extension, she knows the FCH program, she knows the 4-H program, having grown up in it, and then just did a super good job. She too interned prior to graduating with her bachelor's in Parker County. And then what she did and accomplished during her master's program with the assistantship she had teaching some classes for the professor in that just solidified my decision that she was a right applicant for this position to develop her to move on at some point within a 2-year period to a county extension agent, family community health position of her own in another county. So Dr. McClellan and I were fortunate to come up several years ago when there were a lot of assistant positions in extension, and I think it's a very valuable position, and so we're fortunate to have an applicant like Ashley, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce her today, and she'll be working with the staff here. That assistant position is a maximum of 24 months, usually at that 18 to 22 months. If they've done their job and we do ours of identifying a position for them, you know, then they'll have an opportunity to move on to a full agent position, so.
Okay. Well, we're glad to have you here and welcome. And Dr. Kelm, thank you so much for, I know you had the discretion of where you could put that position, and we appreciate McLennan County being considered. And I think actually you'll find out that the 4-H program, along with other youth programs in this county, are strongly supported, and it does give a backbone of the upcoming leadership in our community. Last week there was a scholarship program out at the Artex Fair, and many of these they qualify by the activities they're involved in, including but not limited to 4-H and FFA and things like that. So this community's putting resources behind help bringing these kids on, and so it's an important thing for us in our positions that community is taken care of and moving forward and motivated. So thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
I'd like to make a comment to both of you, is that congratulations on your jobs, but more important, looking at the work you did to get yourself to this point, your resumes are incredible.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the hard work that it took to this point, and congratulations on being rewarded for that work.
Yeah. Okay.
And just a reminder, as Judge said, we started it a long time ago, and it's just a small token, the appreciation reception out with coffee and punch and the cookies, and when you do take a break, come out and just have a little fellowship, and that's just a small token of appreciation from the staff here in McLennan County.
Thank you. And if there's anything else we can do for y'all, please let us know. And we're going to handle a few business items, and then we'll be right out.
You bet. Thank you
Thank
very
y'all.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Next, I'd like to ask Mike Vogelar to come forward. Mike's got a little kind of an information program to put on this morning to show what we're getting for our money. Good morning.
This is just a small taste.
Yeah, okay.
And I've also got Emily with us, Emily Miller. So she was here in January when we were able to talk about this event originally, so I wanted her to be able to be involved as well. There should be a PowerPoint or some slides. They're popping up right now. Fantastic. To refresh everybody, obviously we're with the Greater Waco Sports Commission. You guys are a tremendous supporter of us, and we're excited about being able to continue to reinvest into this community through sports. Our two missions are to create an economic impact through sports, and then also to improve the quality of life of the local residents. And so part of that is being able to create events, not only recruit events, but being able to create things here to be able to help support the local economy and of course the county. So if you go to the next slide, We did create this Mother's Day run from scratch. We started the conversations in January when we were able to receive approval from y'all for certain lane closures, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But it is a difficult task to create something from complete scratch. And so for a team of two and some of the other different initiatives that we've been working on over the wintertime and springtime, I'm really proud of how this event turned out. If you go to the next slide. The reason that we created this event is we had sat down with the owners of Waco Surf, or the new ownership group, formerly known as BSR Cable Park, and they had talked about how they have heard from their market research that there was a reputation that had been earned for that facility and the recreational activities there, that it was not that family friendly. And so they wanted to be able to change that. And so being able to partner with the Sports Commission, we were able to create an event that could have easily taken place here in downtown. And we decided that we would have that at their facility. That way, and we decided, hey, what's more family and community oriented than Mother's Day? So there was no Mother's Day fun run or 5K or any type of event to be able to bring the community together. And so we decided that we would have that there at Waco Surf. And so it was a fantastic event. Through that, we needed to be able to have access to Old Mejia Road. And so if you go to the next slide, our request back in January was for closure of the southwest bound lane on Old Mejia Road from 7 to 10:30. And so we were able to have one lane access. We had 3 peace officers directing traffic as well. And then we also hand-delivered traffic impact notices to the local residents that were impacted along the race route. And then we actually got to set out the cones. And so the county was very gracious in delivering the cones to the site, and then we got to place them throughout the morning. If you go to the next slide, this shows you where the start was. So we had it at the cable park. Has anybody here been to Waco Surf and seen the facilities?
I surf there all the time.
I know. I saw some photos on the website. That's fantastic. Well, we can catch you in the Lazy River too. It's a great facility. They've made some improvements to it as well. So again, that route just goes down Old Mejia Road. We had different mile markers, and then of course the police officers at those different intersections. If you go to the next slide. Here was the cones along the road, so you see how large that road is. It is not a large road. And then we were able to put mile markers. We used surfboards as the indicators along the run to be able to kind of add to that environment and festivities. If you go to the next slide, this is going to be a highlight of the event. So we sold out of the event 258 registered participants. We stopped it and capped it at 250 because of safety of the event. We were concerned that with more runners and more participants on that lane closure, we were going to have people run to the end point and back on just one half lane. And so that was going to be a lot of people that were going to be going both directions with the potential of road traffic as well. And so we said we want to be able to prioritize the safety of the participants while, again, promoting health and wellness, as well as the family environment and just making sure that everything runs smoothly. We had 50 participants or 50 volunteers as well that came out to be able to support this event. And so I think that's just a great showcase of people that wanted to be able to help and the fact of how well organized this event was. We also had Team Waco participation. And so I don't know if anybody's familiar of our initiative with Team Waco, but those are local county residents that have competed and qualified for a scholarship to participate in the Ironman. And so those are about $4,500 scholarships. And so if you haven't heard more about Team Waco, would love to be able to tell you a little bit more. But the initiative behind that and the reason is to be able to help bring this community more together for when the Ironman does come, to be able to help bring the stories of the local residents to the surface. So again, race was sold out a week in advance. And so that is a great showcase for an impromptu event like this, a 5K and a fun run. Most people sign up the week of. And so we really believe that we can grow this event. But again, we had to cap it. And then we had 9 local sponsors with great feedback, and per our post survey to all the participants, there was a very high recall rate, above 50%, especially for our top sponsors. And so that helps us, you know, with the indication that, hey, we're putting on a good event, and then there's an ROI for those partners. And then Waco Surf was extremely thrilled about the turnout and the enthusiasm from folks. If you go to the next slide, this is a highlight of the 5 out of the 6 Team Waco representatives. If you go to the next slide, The post-event survey, we had 42 surveys completed. Again, out of the 250, there were a number of youth that were involved in that as well. So I believe that 42 completed surveys is a good representation of the amount of families and participants that we had for the event. 83% ranked the event either excellent or very good. 7% do not plan on attending next year. We did have a couple that was from Nevada that attended, so that adds to that number. And then 60% of participants would like to do a 10K, and then 83% had never been to Waco Surf before. And so to me, that tells me, one, we put on a good event, people enjoyed it, there was something that was lacking in this community, and some of the feedback that we got was, hey, our family can't wait till next year, and we want to make this a family tradition for Mother's Day weekend. And then Waco Surf, the local business, is getting 83% of these people that had never been there before, or maybe had a preconceived notion of what the facility was like. And so that's helping them with their business. The part that I want to kind of point out is the 60% participants would like to do a 10K. If you, and I'm going to touch on that in just a second, but if you go to the next slide, the general feedback that we got, here are some different highlights and different quotes that people left on our survey, which again, I think is fantastic to be able to kind of just see what people's experience was like. Great for the family. Everyone was excited and happy to be there. The energy of the race was dang encouraging. It's somewhere I've never been. The location of the race, the volunteers were great. The medals, the course and the beach after was fun. The range of fun activities, how well coordinated it was, cool location, great prizes. Again, that's a testament to Emily and her attention to detail in planning this entire event. To plan something like this and for it to go so smoothly with none of it ever being in place before, and a new ownership group and them trying to understand, okay, hey, what are those limitations and what can we do? I just want to give a huge congrats to her and recognition, as well as Waco Surf for being great partners in this. If you go to the last slide, based on the survey and some of the debriefs meetings that we've had, our plans are obviously looking forward to 2023. We would like to grow this event. I believe that we can easily grow it to 500 to 700 participants. And I think that's going to be a mix between local and regional participants. We had folks, again, like I said, from Nevada, from Dallas, from Houston, that also came to this event, but most of the residents were here from McClellan County. And so with that increased number, I'd like for us to potentially explore in the future what it could look like for a possible complete road closure just for the safety of the participants. If that's not possible, then we might have to explore potentially doing a 10K through the property itself. But people really enjoyed being able to run on those roads and be able to just kind of see the countryside and then get to experience the wave park. And so again, just wanted to be able to recap this event, but then also kind of begin discussions and planning already for next year. We'd also like to add a timed element to this race, and so that will make this race a little bit more competitive as well, which is again why we want to make sure that the running along the road is a little bit more controlled, because as of right now, it was an untimed event, and so it was very casual, so people weren't that concerned about trying to beat the other person and passing people in that narrow corridor. And then lastly, we just want to be able to add on-site media exposure for next year and just be able to, again, create more and more exposure. And so I think that we had a great event. I just want to let you guys know again, like Judge Felton said, what your money's getting is obviously it's bringing families together, communities together, incorporating different local businesses and being able to help them grow. And then, of course, the health and wellness. So would love to answer any questions that you guys have or field any comments.
I would like to say I want to extend thanks to Commissioner Miller, Precinct 2, for working with this event and making some accommodations for it, and also law enforcement that we had help us as well.
I would like to say thank you as well. Your staff, your foreman, Roddy specifically, he's amazing. So tell him I said thank you, and thank you as well.
Omaha Road is a main road, but I would like to know, what did the traffic look like for you all that morning?
I mean, to be fair and honest, I want to say that they may have only had 3 or 4 cars that kind of went through, and most of those I know that were coming to Waco Surf, and so they were just trying to get to the parking spot. So I had not heard anything from the local residents of it being a disruptance to them, and so I didn't know if the county had heard anything either.
No, I didn't get any calls saying anything negative about the event. I got a few calls that said, they saw people out there and they thought it was just kind of neat to see the activity out there, but no calls.
Well, I love
Anything
hearing
negative
that.
to say?
Yeah.
Well, in promoting the surf park and I do understand their determination to have it perceived as a family place, and this event's a good way to start that. And I know Mr. Jones and his family go out there, right?
So, my son Grant will be an employee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Probably Thursday.
Okay.
And so it's a great facility. I'm excited about the new ownership.
Yeah.
My question, and you answered it actually during was it sanctioned? And do you see it being like having like a qualifier for, some sort of other event or something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. As of right now, we were just taking a lot of those survey responses, and that was just a good amount of general feedback, was just, hey, we'd love for this to be timed and for there to be some additional links as well. And that was some of the conversations also with some of the different sponsors of, hey, how can we grow this? And so with a first-year event, you never know what you're going to get. We honestly thought we were going to get maybe around 100, maybe 200 people at most. So the fact that we pushed it out to 250 people and then we closed it off an entire week in advance, that tells us that the demand is there, that the potential is there, and we didn't even really market and advertise strongly outside of this county. Right. We had local commercial, radio, TV, social media, and then we just did a little bit of social media exposure outside to other different markets. And then again, we still pulled in those people. So again, I really believe that it's, for this event to grow, the larger that we can make it, the more official it can be. But safety is our number one key, and to run along that road just of the half closure and for it to be a out and back, that's one of our biggest limitations. And so would love to be able to creatively explore, hey, what are some different solutions to be able to make that route a little bit safer and to be able to expand for more capacity.
Is the bike race on track? Is everything going?
For GFNY, everything is on track for the end of June 26th. Yep. And so, yes, everything's progressing. They just had their World Championship event in New York. And do they have 2,500?
Almost 3,000.
Yeah, almost 3,000 participants. So they had a nice large event there. We're still behind in race registration numbers. And so we're hoping that with that event, that this event will help grow as well. But I've been in touch with other different sports commissions that are also hosting the event, including Ann Arbor, which is 2 weeks before ours. I spoke to the executive director on Monday just about what their experience is like, what they're expecting, and then I'm going to have a post-event call with him right after their event so that we can make sure that ours runs as smoothly as possible.
All right.
Great.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments?
Good job.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve this report for recording purposes?
So moved.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you for your time.
Mike, Emily, thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, Dustin, I'd like to go to items H10 and H11, which are one is the First Amendment restating the interlocal agreement with City of Waco and TIF 1. And then the other on H11, authorization of local agreement with City of Waco on TIF 4.
All right, and Judge, we have Kent George from the city online to help present these items.
All right, good morning, Kent.
Good morning. I am Kent George. I'm the Director of Economic Development here in the growing city of Waco, Texas. I am very blessed to have with me this morning Ms. Nina Megan. She's a representative from Halls, Hill and Associates, and we're going to give you all a presentation on TIF 1 and TIF 4.
Okay.
Take it away, Nina.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge, County Commissioners. I'm Nina Megan with Halls, Hill and Associates, and I've been working with the City of Waco as their TERS consultant for the past couple of years on both TERS 1 and TERS 4. And I'm going to give you an overview of TERS 1 and TERS 4 today as it relates to the interlocal agreements that you have before you for consideration. And I believe I can share my screen, yes. All right, so I'm going to this morning start with tax increment reinvestment number 1. And this is the city's original zone that was created in 1982 that you all are familiar with. It centers around the Brazos River corridor in the downtown area, just over 2,300 acres. This is a zone that the county currently participates in. So you are in partnership with the county and the ISD and the community college and have been a wonderful partner in being able to leverage resources and fund a number of public infrastructure improvements over the years within the zone boundaries. There's been a number of improvements that have been made, from public infrastructure to funding of parks, public parking, affordable housing, facade grant programs, adaptive reuse of buildings. There's a number of projects that have really supported redevelopment, new development, and new investment within the zone. And as you can see, the zone has been pretty successful. It had a base year value of 77 million and has a 2021 estimated value of about just over 606 million. That's a captured value of 520 million within the zone. So the zone has really achieved what it was set out to in terms of enhancing economic development opportunities and new development. So with that being said, the city this past year wanted to continue to build on that momentum. While a lot has been done, there's still a lot more to accomplish within the zone in terms of public projects. So they went ahead and extended the life of the zone an additional 20 years to the year 2052 and amended their project plan and finance plan to accommodate that life extension. The county currently participates within the zone at 100% of their increment over the base year until the year 2032. That's their current agreement. And with this life extension, the city will be participating at 100% till 2052. And for your consideration, we would like the county to extend their participation to the year 2052 for through the life of this life extension of this zone. So that pretty much summarizes tax increment reinvestment zone number 1. I will go ahead, if you all are okay with it, present tax increment reinvestment zone number 4, and then address any questions that you may have.
Okay.
So tax increment reinvestment zone number 4, because this is new, I'll go into a little bit more details, but this is a new zone that the city created in December of 2021. Very similar purposes. It's to enhance economic development opportunities within the zone. You can see the boundaries on the map. That's over 17.4 square miles, so it's a larger zone. It encompasses a variety of areas, both north and south of the downtown area, and kind of wraps around TERS 1. It includes both greenfield areas or areas that are vacant and undeveloped, as well as areas that need redevelopment or are prime for redevelopment and reinvestment. So you've got properties including the Floyd Casey site. You've got corridors like LaSalle Avenue, Franklin, 18th, 19th Streets, corridors that are really prime for redevelopment and new investment, along with those vacant and undeveloped sites that are in need of public infrastructure. So along the same lines and purpose, the goal is to enhance economic opportunities, increase investment in these areas that results in increased taxable value, but not only taxable value, sales tax, job opportunities, and meeting other economic development goals of the community. You'll notice the boundary is a little bit squirrely. A lot of people ask me, why are there carve-outs? We do have a residential limit as to how much residential taxable value you can include in a new reinvestment zone, and that is limited to 30%. So that is why you'll see some residential areas are carved out of the boundaries. So the new zone is pretty varied in diversity of properties and needs of infrastructure needs. So we set out to establish 6 goals that would encompass all the different types of projects that a reinvestment zone can fund. As we know, this allows flexibility for the TERS board, the city, and the community as a whole to really determine what these projects are as time moves on, as priority changes, as leveraging of resources changes. So we have 6 broad goals that encompass all the different types of projects allowed by a reinvestment zone. This includes infrastructure, detention, drainage, corridor and streetscapes, including public realms, trails, connectivity, parks and recreation, and open space facilities, and economic development. As part of the planning for this new reinvestment zone and the preliminary project plan and finance plan, you do have to do a finance plan that projects out taxable value within the zone, as well as what those revenues are like, to determine and make sure that you can actually pay for projects that will generate value. We were very conservative in our estimates, but we did come out with project costs totaling about 90 million. Actual project costs will be determined on actual value and actual projects that are undertaken. And so these are just estimates, but project costs did align with the different goals that are laid out in the plan. So these are the exact same goals, and we just assigned buckets that you could draw on to fund projects. I'll just go into a little bit of details on the revenue side and what taxable values. Again, we were very conservative in our estimate, given all that's going on in Waco and area. We expect that you will exceed these estimates. The current value is about 660 million, and that's the 2021 taxable value. project over 1.2 billion in value of the life of the zone. That gives you about an increment of 625 million. Estimated zone revenues are $87 million. We have got 3 partners in this reinvestment zone: the city, which is participating at 70% of its tax rate, the county, which we're proposing at 70%, and the community college is also participating at 50%. So this is a new reinvestment zone, very similar to the objectives of TIF 1 that you all are familiar with. And again, we're asking for participation at 70% through the interlocal agreement with the city. And I will address any questions that anyone has.
Any questions?
Zone 4, the new one, it's permissible to be non-contiguous, just to go
Yes, it
around and
is.
grab
Within the
different
city
areas?
limits, it can be non-contiguous.
Non-contiguous.
Sorry, I missed the last part of that question.
Are the participating rates that we are participating, Judge, is that compatible with the other TIF zones throughout the county that's comparable to what we do?
Well, there's a difference between TIF 1 and TIF 4.
Yeah.
In TIF 1, the city and the county are 100%. What's MCC on TIF 1?
On TIF 1, they're 100 to the end of the year, then they drop down to 50.
Then on TIF 4, both the city and the county are recommending to the council and commissioners court 70 to generate a little bit more income as it develops out, and then
MCC's at 50.
drops it to 50, right? Which will equal where they modified theirs in TIF 1. Any questions?
Are we gonna take these as one, or are we gonna vote on them separately?
Either way, if you think there might be a different decision, then I would take them separately. Why don't we do that, just to give everybody an opportunity to do it the way they want to? So I would say under H10, First Amendment of restated interlocal agreement with the city of Waco for the reinvestment zone 1.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Under H3 is authorization of interlocal agreement with City of Waco on participation in tax increment finance reinvestment zone number 4.
Motion to approve the interlocal agreement with the city of Waco.
That's, did you say H3?
11.
H11.
I'm sorry, pardon me. Correct.
H11.
H11, thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, we have a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. I'd like to go to items M3 on page 13 for mine. This is authorization of appointment of tax increment finance reinvestment zone 4 board member. The county and the city and MCC have board appointments in those positions, among others.
Okay.
And currently, Commissioner Jones serves on the other TIF boards.
TIF 1.
TIF 1, yeah.
Okay. Make a motion to appoint Commissioner Jones to TIF number 4 board.
Wholeheartedly second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I just would say that TIF 4 is in Commissioner Precinct 2, and I would just like to know how would I be able to have information, because what I fear in the development, I know it's gonna be really great, and I support the tax increment finance tax incentive that allows areas that have been blighted to be have reinvestment. But when people in the precinct come to me, if they have ideas or they have concerns, then I can't do anything about it. I just tell them, well, I'm not on that board. and then I don't have any information. So I'm a little apprehensive of the disconnect with the voice of the people that live in that area, and then the person that would be serving on that board.
I think the statute requires that all information is posted on the website, but I'm almost positive it's on the City of Waco's website as well, so. that would
And I'm sure the information's out there, and we could all do a treasure hunt. What I'm saying is there's no free flow of information. You don't know when anything important is coming up, and things only come to my attention when somebody in the precinct has a concern. And that's just an experience that none of the other county commissioners on this court is sharing. I'm the only one that has that disconnect. And so that would be my comment on number 4, is that is within County Commissioner Precinct 2. And like I said, that's not an experience that any of the other commissioners share. Having someone represent your area.
Well, I guess my only question to that would be, I understand where you're coming from, but would you be conflicted out if you basically had someone that you're working with and trying to get them approved in the TIF, and then you also sit on the TIF board? Would you be conflicted in?
No, I'm not saying I'm working with people that are trying to have
I'm
businesses and
misunderstanding what you're
projects.
saying then.
I'm saying when constituents in the area and they have a concern or an idea on the development, and they come to me, they're not coming to the representative that can have any kind of impact, because I'm not the one that's representing them on that entity that's having an effect in their community. I know when we did number 1, it was expansive. I just think that at some point, and like I said, none of you all have that experience. All of you are serving on boards and outside agencies that are in your precinct, and some of y'all are serving on those that are in my precinct. But at some point, we just have to look at that dynamic.
Is that something y'all could work together on?
I mean, I'm more than happy to answer any questions or direct people to the City of Waco's economic development offices, and try, help with getting the information. There's lots of times where I don't know when the projects are brought forth to the TIF, like the one that was pulled on.
Oh yeah, the Floyd Casey Stadium development.
And so that, and really, that was going to take up a large amount of this TIF, of the TIF funding. So I don't want to make, I don't want to make it seem like it's no big deal or, anything like that. But there's not going to be a lot left for a while, in my opinion, for TIF 4 to do. I mean, I'm happy to serve, and
I guess what I'm saying, if we can come to an arrangement where I'm not in a vacuum, if I'm within the information.
Right. You just right. I mean, it's I'll if you have anyone that wants, that you feel is a worthy project, let me know, and we can meet
And
with
I'm
them.
not pushing projects, just the information of the progress of the zone itself. I'm
It's
just
going to be a
saying,
resource.
well, I want to be aware of what's happening in my precinct. So whatever kind of development is happening within that zone, I just would like to be privy to that information.
Ken, are you still on?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Okay, how do y'all share information that you're working on?
Yes, sir.
And requests that are out there?
Yes, sir. The agendas are online on our webpage, just similar to what y'all have for Commissioners Court. So council agendas are there, TIF board meeting agendas are posted there. Our meetings are open meetings, so anyone can come. They can ask questions. I'm available. Call me. I love working with the public. That's a big part of my job. So any information you want, any kind of financial records or what projects are going to be on the agenda. Now we post it. So I can't necessarily get into details on some that are in the pipeline that we're still negotiating. Yeah, it's completely public.
Right. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Kent? All right, there's a motion and a second. No other further discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. All right, I know that it's almost 10 o'clock. I know we've got several presentations right in front of us, but I'd like to take a 5-minute recess and go out and get one more cookie, and we'll come back in and pick up with the next item on the agenda. Okay, it's 10:11. Let's call court back into order. All right. Dustin, are you on?
Yes, sir.
All right, we want to go to E3D.
All right, E3D is an HR matter for the county sheriff. I'd like to call on Anna, and I know representatives from the sheriff's office are there as well.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So the item for the county sheriff's office is a request to restructure the jail medical department in order to better staff each shift with a lead role, being an RN or a registered nurse position. They're going to use the positions already in existence to create this structure. The request includes reclassification of 12 nurse positions. So of those 12 nurse positions that they would like to reclassify, 8 of those positions they would like to have classified as registered nurses, and 4 of those positions they'd like to convert to certified medical assistant positions. The remaining 20 nurse positions they would like to retitle to licensed vocational nurse positions, or LVNs. They're hoping that this change in structure, again, offers a lead for each of the 8 shifts at the jail in these RN roles. And also the request includes an increase to the budgeted salary for those 8 reclassified registered nurse positions in hopes to better recruit applicants and retain current registered nurses on staff. The jail medical department has experienced the highest turnover rate of all county departments. It reached a high in 2020 during the pandemic of 34.61%. And at the time, the average countywide for turnover was only 15.06%.
What percentage? What percentage was retirement out of each one of those groups? Could you hear me?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat the question?
What percentage was retirees out of both of those data points you gave me?
So since I don't have it for the specific year, January to December of 2020, but I know since 2020 until now, we've had 19 medical professionals resign or retire from the jail. The majority of the exiting employees did identify that they left for a better job opportunity.
Not retiring?
Correct, not retiring.
Okay. We know there's a lot of demand for nurses in the community. I know the hospitals are paying bonuses and things that we can't pay. And, there's a shortage. I guess it's nationwide. I know it's here. All right. Continue if you like.
So the request would bring the budgeted salary for the registered nurse positions to $70,310. They're currently budgeted for $65,543. The overall request, if approved, would be an overall budget decrease by $40,850. So the current jail personnel budget is $2,388.78, and this proposed structure, the budget would be $2,347,931. So there would be a net decrease related to the request. But as you stated, it is a competitive market. So even $70,000 a budgeted salary of $70,310 may not be enough to attract the talent that the jail medical staff would like. So there is another option of making it budget neutral and not have a net decrease, and dispersing the $40,000 that the proposed structure would save, dispersing that amongst the 8 registered nursing positions to increase it a little more, closer to $75,000.
And become effective when?
They would like this change in structure effective immediately so that we can post and advertise the new salary as soon as possible.
Well, what you're gonna post is the proposed 7310, correct?
If approved by Commissioners Court today, yes, we would take down the current, because we are currently advertising the registered nurse position. We would take that down and republish it with the newly approved budgeted amount.
And the benefits are like the rest of the staff in the county, right?
Yes, sir, related to health insurance and ancillary benefits and retirement, that would be
Right,
the same as other full-time employees.
right, okay.
So right now, there's a certified medical assistant making $63,625.
What amount did you reference, sir?
Position 486.
No, that position is currently a nurse position.
Oh, okay.
And that's part of the proposed
Okay, I'm just looking for what
restructure.
the
They
delta
want to
is.
change it to a certified medical
Sorry about that.
assistant and lower the amount, the budgeted amount, to only 41,000.
I've sort of seen this structure play out, like in hospitals, where you have RNs that are supervisors, and then you have the LVNs and your certified nursing assistants and
Absolutely.
staff personnel.
Yes, ma'am. And I have our director of nursing that I brought with me today, who's Jay Tankersley. And he's the one that came up with this structure. We have previously just called everything a nurse, regardless of if they're an LVN, an RN, CMA, whatever they are, it was just a nurse to us.
Yeah, I like that
We-
distinction.
This feels more transparent to us, actually calling CMAs, CMAs, LVNs, LVNs, and RNs, RNs.
Yes.
So every position at Jack Harwell, when those positions were given to us at a nurse, but it was at our RN salary. And our director of nursing, we haven't received, I think we've received 2 applications qualified for RN in the last year and 3 months, and we have hired 0 in well over a year, 0 nurses. So we are looking for something, and the way this all works out, like coordinate with HR and the auditor to try and get everything done properly, is we just need employees, and we need something that is, we're not trying to ask y'all for, some top tier salary, just something that's competitive. And our director of nursing, who works at, or does some work with Providence and Hillcrest, he had originally, and we had talked to HR about what he thought was a competitive salary from working with these people every day in the hospital, which is around $75,000. And the data that HR had would not support that, so we are not requesting that. We're requesting what they can support, but we would also like to point out that the data they have for the salaries is from 2020. So,
We know what's happened in a couple of years.
The world's changed since
Yeah.
2020.
How many open positions are there?
9. That's 25% of our overall medical staff.
And I'd like to add the 2 applicants David is referencing that we have received in the past year. They did withdraw because they received offers from other employers.
Judge, I think we got to make a run at it. That's my opinion, and certainly this has come out of HR, and I know it's gone by auditor's office, and it's a recommendation. So, just so we can open it for discussion further, my move would be to approve this recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any other discussion?
I would have a question on the salary.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's for RNs, this gap from 70 to 75. Do you think we're going to be able to bring in good applicants at the 70?
That's very difficult to say. We're the way that our medical community is just in the local area. The two major hospitals are really competing with nurses and really elevating pay, elevating bonuses, sign-on bonuses. They're working diligently to keep the nurses that they have. So they've restructured their whole pay tier system as well. So I would like to think that maybe we would. I think that we are very, very competitive at that rate for years 1 through 6 of a brand new nurse. After that point, we will no longer compete. So years 1 through 5, 1 through 6 for a graduate nurse, I think we can compete.
So if we took the approach of, let's try this, but understand that this could be fluid. You could come back, we don't get anybody putting in, you can't fill positions, we have to revisit that.
Agreed.
Yeah, especially if we want experienced nurses.
And the RNs also function like supervisors. So we're getting rid of a lot of the unnecessary ones, converting them to CMAs, things that we actually need with Jay's plan. And you're only going to have one RN per shift that is acting like a managing charge nurse or whatever you may refer to it in that case. So there's only going to be one per shift per facility. So it's a kind of supervisory role in the first place with the added qualifications that individual has.
Does the Texas Commission on Jail Standards or other entities have a criteria for medical staff to inmate ratios or things like that?
Not that I am aware of. The only ratio I'm aware of with the Texas Commission on Jail Standards is officer to inmate.
Right, okay.
But we have to provide appropriate medical services, and we have to have the staff to do it. And being down 25% of our staff constantly really does hurt Jay and his program.
I think it's fair to say that there's no minimum standard in place, but if they make a visit and an inmate has been given medical treatment in not so timely a manner, it becomes a problem.
Guaranteed. Very hot issue.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. A call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, Dustin?
All right, if we could go to item H12, authorization of revised industrial business grant agreement with Messer LLC. I'd like to call on Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for your time this morning. What you have before you is an amendment to the industrial business grant that we executed with Messer for its new facility in McGregor. After we brought this to the court, their attorneys looked at it again and had a few changes that they requested. Of that, the major piece of it was the addition of a cure period. In the event that they were in default of a term of the agreement, they asked for the opportunity to cure that default rather than the sole remedy at the time was to just terminate the agreement. We found that to be a reasonable request, and so that's what you have before you today is the addition of a cure period into the agreement.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve the revision.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, if we could go to item M4, authorization of order approving the canvass for the May 7th, 2022 joint general election. I'd like to call on Jared.
Thank you, Dustin. Yeah, this is to canvass the results for the two Texas constitutional amendment propositions that were on the May 7th, 2022 general election ballot. The state requires that we have the Commissioners Court canvass this election. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we just need to canvass it.
Okay, any questions anyone have?
I just have one, and it might be a trivia question. If it's unfair, I'm sorry. Do you by chance have the percentage of the voters that voted for the amendments and the percentage that voted against the amendments?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me just a second here. So on Proposition 1, there was for 4, it was 89.88%, against 10.12%. On Proposition 2, 88.44% voted for, and 11.56% voted against.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the order canvassing the May 7th joint general election.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Thank you.
Item H13, this is authorization of standard form of agreement with Brinkley Sargent Wigington Architects for the McLennan County Downtown Jail remodel for courtrooms and office space. I'd like to call on Mike, and then TJ, Ken, Zane, and myself will be available for questions as well. And Mike, you're on mute.
The way we like it.
Judge, I'm
we
gonna
can't
send
hear
him.
you. Yeah,
I'm gonna send him a text real quick.
okay. He may be driving down to get a cookie.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was pressing unmute, but it wasn't doing anything until you sent me that. Okay, this is, although it says standard agreement, it's not really the standard AIA agreement because we had to go through and make a bunch of changes because this is a construction manager at risk project, which means that the construction manager at risk is involved pretty much at the start too. And the architect is involved in helping us procure the construction manager at risk by putting together requests for qualifications and things like that and helping us go through them. We went through a bunch of stuff, changed a bunch of stuff that was too architect friendly, which is not unusual in form contracts. I think we caught up most things. There were a couple of later changes that I don't think have been made yet, but my advice would be to go ahead and approve it with the proviso that those additional changes are made. They're not major changes. They're just like waiving subrogation on insurance and stuff like that. And authorize the judge to sign the agreement.
Mike, did you want to touch on the fee?
The fee is, I think we figured it out to be about 8%, which is very competitive. Actually is less than what a lot of architects are charging now. That's more like a 5-year ago fee. So I think you're getting a good deal with that. Now, there are a lot of consultants that are performing work on this project. And, I think Zane has looked at those, and there were a couple that I think we thought were high, and I think they came back and lowered them. But the fee is reasonable for the size of the project.
So, if we looked at other fees relative on projects this size, do we know of any? I mean,
So Judge, it's very similar to the populace fee on the base,
okay,
which has ended up being a very similar $32 million project. So right in the ballpark of this one as well.
okay. And there's still some modifications to come, is that correct?
They're very minor. They're, like I say, putting a waiver of subrogation clause in the insurance part. I can't even remember the other one. It was so minor. So, but those are nothing that would hold up. I mean, we could do without them, but they'll be made. But so instead of holding up the agreement for those small things, I would suggest just approving the agreement with the proviso that those changes be made and authorize the county judge to sign the agreement.
And those changes come from the county side, right? Not the.
Right. All the changes have come from us, and we've changed many things. Like they had a 20-month deadline for completion of the project. We asked them, and they did change it to 26 months because after that we would start having to pay them additional construction administration costs, just like we had in the base agreement.
Right.
And we also changed their fee from like $25,000 a month to $15,000 a month. If that did occur, but if we're not getting this thing done in 26 months from the notice to proceed, then there's probably something else wrong.
Judge?
Yes.
Just having received this yesterday and not having the opportunity to look through it in its entirety, would it be permissible to defer this to give us at least time to peruse it? I know we're not the experts on it, and there are other people who are, and I appreciate what they've done, but I would like to read it in its entirety so that if I do have a question, I could have it answered before we vote on it.
There's no hurry on, there's no hurry, so we could do it on the 17th?
We could bring it back on either the department head report day on the 31st or on June 7th.
June 7th, yeah. That's only 10 days.
My motion would be to defer till next available time. Just give us an opportunity, but that's entirely up to the court.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving back to the top of the agenda under item E3, Human Resources. E3A is Information Technology, discussion and action regarding replacement of director. Judge, did you want to hold this till the end of court?
Yes, if you don't mind.
All right, moving on to E3C, District Clerk. I'd like to call on Anna.
This item is a request from the district clerks to fill position 161, which is titled pellet expunsion position. It was vacant as of April 30th, and the person vacating the position did have 122 hours of vacation time accumulated. That time is set to expire on May 24th, but the district clerk would like the ability to fill the position immediately before the time is exhausted on May 24th. The request.
Any questions? So it would, is there enough money in the budget?
Yes, in that department, due to vacancies, there's sufficient funds in the full-time employee line item, so
Okay.
no budget amendment needed.
Are these hours, Anna, vacation or comp hours?
They were vacation hours.
They were vacation hours, okay, okay.
Is this a supervisory position or a clerk position? I'm sorry.
It's a clerk position, does not have supervisory duties.
Okay.
So this provides a coverage for the gap between one leaving and one coming in, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Thank you.
Under item F, budget amendments, F1s regarding the FY22 budget. Francis?
Yes. So starting with F1A, these, like Dustin said, budget amendments for fiscal year 22. F1A is a budget amendment in the general fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 4 department. The request is to move within that department into capital outlay in order to accommodate a purchase for a trailer. F1B, this is general fund for purchasing. The request is to move within that department into other services and charges in order to purchase a hotspot. There's another item on the agenda, L3, that is requesting the approval to purchase that service. F1C, General Fund, AgriLife Extension. They're requesting to move within their department into the furniture and equipment line in order to replace some technology equipment that is no longer working. F1D, this is General Fund. The request is to increase capital outlay. This request is made by the Sheriff's Office to increase capital outlay for the purchase of 2 hot food serving counters that are in need to be replaced urgently. So it looks like one will be at the Highway 6 jail, older jail, and one at Jack Harwell Detention Center. And there are quotes attached for those items. F1E, this is general fund for the jail department. They're requesting to move within that department to increase the outsourced prisoner transport line, which their increase should accommodate charges until the end of the year, and then also increasing the motor vehicle operating line for fuel cost. F1F, this is general fund for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2. I'm requesting to move within that department into supplies. F1G, this is general fund for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3. I'm also requesting to move within their department to increase supplies. F1H is general fund maintenance of buildings. They are requesting to increase from other lines within their department, furniture and equipment for the purchase of a printer, and then also reclassing some repair and maintenance budget from deferred to not deferred to accommodate some ongoing projects. They are also requesting to move from the contingencies line into their fuel line, also to account for the increase in fuel costs this year. F1I, this is general fund for maintenance of equipment, requesting to move within their department into repair and maintenance for increased cost for repairs related to the vehicles for the year. F1J, This is general fund for Road and Bridge Precinct 3, requesting to move within that department into other services and charges, as well as capital outlay. The capital outlay is related to a shredder deck purchase. F1K, if we could hold that, we're awaiting some information. If we get that before the end of the agenda, we can come back to that.
Okay.
But skipping through that one. F1L is the Permanent Improvement Fund related to our 2021 Certificate of Obligation. This request is to increase the line item for the Woodway Tower project for the cost that you approved for the tree removal at the tower site on the last agenda. And that concludes, with the exception of F1K.
Okay, with the exception of F1K, is there a motion to approve F1A through F1L? No, it's, let's see.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay, F1L. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. And then, do you want me to go ahead and jump to L3 and get that cleared out? That's the, goes with item, F1B, which is the purchase of the hotspot. And that is, $40 a month.
Technically, it's $37.99, but I just kind of rounded up.
Okay. All right, any questions on L3? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
A motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right.
Under F1M, authorization of Texas Association of Counties claim deductible invoices. And if it's okay with the court, we have 4 of these. I'll just cover them all at once.
Okay.
F1M1 is an invoice totaling $405 for claims associated with the estate of Charles Ray Mason, and that's a law enforcement claim. F1M2 is an invoice totaling $4,600 for claims associated with Merica Campbell, and this is a juvenile matter. F1M3 is an invoice totaling $8,780.66 for claims associated with Douglas Hill, another law enforcement matter. And F1M4 is totaling $1,812.50 for claims associated with Cornell Martin, also another law enforcement matter.
Okay, any questions on those? All right, is there a motion to approve F1M1 through F1M4?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F1N, engineering, authorization of expenditure for Waco Tribune Herald subscription. Zane?
Sir, I would like to have authorization to get the newspaper in a digital format for roughly $5 a month, an annual subscription. The way they do this is they charge for 6 months. It's $29.99 for 6 months, so roughly $60 for the entire year. Request authorization to get a subscription.
Any questions? Is there a motion to approve F1N?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Under item G, bids, RFPs, RFQs. G1 is authorization of work order inspection proposal with ThyssenKrupp Elevator Corporation for elevator inspections and safety tests. TJ?
Good morning. So yeah, this is our yearly safety test inspections and load bank testing for all of our elevators here on the campus. There will be a slight change because we will pull out one of these additional elevators for the downtown jail, so there's no need to test it this year. So the price will come down just a little bit, but this is all covered underneath our yearly budget.
Now, I was looking down the list here, there's one in, at the Heart of Texas Coliseum. There's 2 elevators there now, isn't it?
There's 2 elevators there, but I don't think we've met the year-long, the testing requirement for it just yet. I'll reach out to Kevin just to verify that.
Okay. All right, any questions? Is there a motion to approve this contract?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Under item H, contracts and interlocal agreements, H1 is authorization of 13th Memorandum of Agreement Addendum with Baylor University for the DWI Drug Court Program Cooperative. This extends it for an additional year, and then after this one-year renewal, it'll automatically renew for an additional 5 years, but either party does have the ability to terminate the agreement at any time with written notice, and Judge Vick has reviewed and approved this addendum.
Okay, any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H2, authorization of annual contract renewal with Hot Solutions for the aerobic unit septic system at Road and Bridge Precinct 2. Commissioner Miller?
Yes, this is the annual agreement, maintenance agreement on our septic system out at the yard. I'm waiting to get the document back. Hotter Texas Solutions is signing and going to bring it back, but it's just our annual renewal we've had for the last 5 or 6 years. So if there are no questions, I would move to approve pending the signature from HOT Solutions.
Second.
Okay, have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H3, authorization of service agreement with CTWP for copier for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3. Ken?
Yes, sir. We recently purchased a copier for JP3. This is the maintenance agreement that goes along with that copier. It's 36,000 black and white copies annually at a rate of $360 annually, and the overage charge would be 0.01 cents annually. If the court pleases, again, this is just a maintenance agreement with the copier they already have.
Any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Move to approve.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H4, authorization of equipment rental agreement with Kirby Smith Machinery for Road and Bridge Precinct 3. Commissioner Jones?
This is our rental agreement on a roller in the amount of $4,250 a month. Let's see. Motion to approve the agreement with Kirby Smith Machine.
Second.
I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H5 is authorization of business associate agreement with Consensus Cloud Solutions Canada for SR Fax digital email fax service. At our last court session, we approved the quote from SR Fax for the digital email fax service for juvenile, and this is just the business associate agreement that goes along with that service.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H6, authorization of renewal for janitorial services contract with Texas Urban Enterprises. Ken and TJ?
Yes, this is our yearly agreement with TUE to take care of our outlying buildings as well as a couple of buildings downtown. It's worth noting the price did not go up this year, so we would definitely like to continue this service with TUE.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H7, authorization of Pitney Bowes lease agreement with Texas Office Systems. This is for the courthouse mailing machine. Our current lease has expired, and our current unit, we've had some issues with it, so it is time to get a new one. So this will be for a new postage machine for the courthouse. Term is for, I believe, 63 months at a cost of $476.45 a month. Ken, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, only that it was time for that machine to be replaced.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H8 regarding the event rental agreement addendum with McLennan County Fair Incorporated doing business as Extraco Event Center, authorization of cancellation of dates for jury selection and trials venue. Back in February, we brought an agreement forward that had about 12 or so dates for the remainder of the year for for the base to be used for either large trials or capital trials. We no longer need to use the facility for those dates, so we can cancel all dates with the exception of those dates in November, which will be used for potentially for adoption day. So we just need a motion to approve the cancellation of the dates except for the November dates.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H9 is authorization of master maintenance agreement with OPEX Corporation for the tax office remittance processing machine. And this is just the master maintenance agreement includes all labor and replacement parts necessitated by normal wear and tear for this piece of equipment, and totals $10,365, and last year was $10,005.
All right, any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, I believe we can drop down to H14, authorization of support and maintenance agreement with Excella Technologies for records management. I'd like to call on Lisa.
Sorry about that. I was trying to get my controls there. So this is our annual renewal for this service that is related to our paper vision. This is what the archives office uses to document to scan the documents for the DA and the CSCD office. There's a slight increase, I believe, of about $253 for this renewal this year.
All right, any questions? There's no questions. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item I, capital improvement and construction projects, I-1s regarding the Mart Water Project street repair agreement with the city of Mart, authorization of third and final payment request. And Judge, I believe that work is ongoing, so we need
Yes.
to defer.
I'll make a motion to defer. Is there a
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I-2s regarding McLennan County Line Road South Creek Crossing Improvements, bid 21-020, construction agreement with LC Paving and Construction LLC, authorization of application for payment, invoice number 2. Zane?
Yes, sir. This invoice number 2 is in the amount of $50,779.40. The work is proceeding according to plan, and there should be one more invoice coming for a little over $14,000 once all the work's done. I recommend invoice number 2 be approved.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I-3s regarding ADA renovations to MHMR Crisis Center, bid 21-003, agreement with HCS Incorporated, commercial general contractor, authorization of payment application number 11. TJ?
Yes, this pay app is right in line with where they currently are. Just to make the court aware, we finally received the structural recommendations back from the engineer. HCS is currently working on that change order, so we should have it to you guys here in the next couple of weeks.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Nothing under item J. Under item K, grants and grant proposals. K1s regarding the U.S. Department of Treasury, Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund, and American Rescue Plan Act. Tom Ray sent a quick update. He wasn't able to join us this morning. I'll kind of read you some of his bullet points. He's been working with our office to schedule meetings within the next week or so with the arsenic impacted systems to talk about the next steps and how the process will work. Mike has worked on a survey of the number of meters, and we have that. Tom's sending that out to the points of contact at each arsenic impacted system, and then we will receive those back certifying their number of meters. Then we're also looking into a hazard mitigation grant opportunity for potential help with funding the generators. However, it's those funds are very limited, so we've been working with Elizabeth and Ryan over at Emergency Management to see if that's something we should apply for. And I believe that's the most of what Tom had sent over. So no action there. And under K1A, it's discussion and or action on ARPA funding request and or related agreements. K1A1 is the Texas State Technical College Training Center. And we continue to have meetings and work with TSTC on gathering info and sharing that info with BKD to help kind of with the final determinant of eligibility. So Judge, we can just defer this again at this time.
Okay, and I think from here forward, we should call it by its name, which is now the Central Texas Technology Training Center. So going forward in the future, I think that's the adopted name.
Okay.
And I'll make a motion, we defer. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K1Bs regarding the professional services agreement with BKD, authorization of grant administration services through March invoice. This is an invoice totaling $5,500 for their services through March 31st. And it's been reviewed and we recommend it for approval.
And they've been, are they responsive and clear on their recommendations?
Yes, sir. They, I know they're busy with, getting through tax season, but they have been responsive and, working through some of this more detailed information. I know it's pretty intensive study and reviewing the final rule, but they have been responsive. And I don't know if Francis would have anything to add to that as well.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
Question. Looking at the backup for BKD, although we're asking for, to approve the 5,500, it looks like there was a remittance back to us from an overpayment, so we're actually, is that correct? So actually, we only owe them $489.72, or how does that work?
There was an invoice in error earlier in the year, and so that's just showing that we had already, they were sitting on a credit for us. So, but the total expense for the invoice is still the 5,500. There was just.
So we're gonna go ahead and write them a check for 5,500, but we only owe them $48,972?
The check will be for I don't have it in front of me.
The check will be for the
difference.
$489.72.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K1Cs regarding the Bureau of Reclamation Water Smart Grant Assistance Authorization of Period of Performance Adjustment. Judge, we're still waiting on documentation, so we
I'll
need
make
to
a
defer
motion, we
this.
defer. And have a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K2s regarding the bipartisan infrastructure law. And Judge, really no updates this week. I believe the opening of the proposals from the grant services. Ken, is that this week?
Yes, it is.
And so Judge, we'll have that on an upcoming agenda.
So need to defer or skip or what do we need?
I think no action's needed on K2.
No action. All right.
K3 is regarding the Texas Indigent Defense Commission FY22 formula grant acceptance, a statement of grant award. Back in October, we applied. This is the annual formula grant that's based on a formula based off population and your expenses. And we've been awarded a grant totaling $177,059 for indigent defense services.
And I just have to ask every year, and what have we budgeted? 4.5 million?
Yeah, it will probably be closer to 5 million this year. Yes.
I'm not mocking that, but it's a paltry amount for what we have to pay.
Okay. Any other comments?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K4 is regarding U.S. Department of Treasury Emergency Rental Assistance Programs, recording of Economic Opportunities Advancement Corporation reports for April. Francis, did you have any additional comments on this?
No, like you said, this is just an update from EOAC on their April activity. Total amount paid in April for ERA 1 was $602,187.26, and then ERA 2, $24,648.
Okay, any discussion? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
K5, regarding the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services Title IV-E grant, authorization of updated county legal services budget for FY21. Francis?
Yes, this is just updating our Title IV-E legal services budget that DFPS holds for us. We have an increased number of attorneys in the DA's office that works on these cases, so we amend what we plan to spend with DFPS, and then that affects what we are able to claim for reimbursement.
Okay, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
K6, discussion and or action regarding Texas Department of Health Services funding opportunity for COVID-19 testing and mitigation activities in confinement facilities. The Sheriff's Office sent this over. DSHS has received funding to support COVID-19 testing and mitigation in confinement facilities. This isn't a formal grant application at this time. It's more of a solicitation to gauge a level of interest, and so no formal budget. We just thought it would be wise to make the court aware that this is something we're looking at, and if it gets to the point where a formal application is needed or a contract, we'll bring it back to the court at that time. But they are requesting some info from the Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Okay. All right. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Under item L, Department Office Specific Requests, L1, Human Resources, authorization to use county credit card for professional development online training courses. Anna?
Thanks, Dustin. I'm requesting the ability to use the county credit card to purchase online professional development courses. Most professional development available online requires a credit card for purchase. And so that's what this request is for. And I have some examples of the courses I'd like to, or websites I'd like to purchase courses from in the near future. So I have MCC, the International Foundation of Employee Benefit Plans, and World at Work for compensation material. And then this fiscal year's purchases will remain in our current professional development budget. So I'm not requesting any money at this time. I can take any questions the court might have.
All right, any questions? All right, if no other questions, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
L2, Information Technology, discussion and or action regarding participation in the Cybersecurity Committee for the Heart of Texas region. Lisa?
Yes, thank you, Dustin. Our office has received a really great opportunity to potentially participate in a cybersecurity committee that HotCog is attempting to create. The program manager reached out to me and kind of walked me through what their intentions are. They would like to include participants from across different local agencies within 6 counties. They want to meet quarterly regarding various cybersecurity topics and would like our office to participate in that. So I know it's a bit early, but I would like to at least, communicate this to the court, and and if this does come to fruition, I would like to accept this invitation and would like to elect Brandon Suggs, our security and compliance analyst, to be the participant on our behalf.
And who else would be participating in this? Would be like other cities or counties or?
Yes, sir. Various cities and counties. I apologize. I meant to get the list of counties. It wasn't included in the email communication with the program manager, but I can get that for you if you would like. And as I get more information, I can bring that back to the court. I think it's a great.
Who's the program manager?
That is, let me grab his name real quick. Let's see what I did with that email. Pardon me. I thought I had that open. It is, I'm sorry. Let's find where I put that.
It looks like it's Tim Jeske.
Yes, thank you. I was looking for that attachment and I wasn't finding it. Okay. Yes, that is who contacted me.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Okay, well, two of us on the court serve on hot cog board, so just trying to get a little bit more information. All right.
Yes, sir. So I think this would be a great idea. It gives us the opportunity to interact with peers in our industry. We have that opportunity to exchange information on best practices, how to, make improvements within, all of our environments. They would also be looking at, potentially providing mutual aid to each other in the event, any of us encountered any trouble. And then, of course, possibilities for any grants and things that we could potentially be eligible for. So I think there's a lot of good opportunity to come from such discussions and interaction.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? A motion made, second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under item M, additional items for discussion and potential action. M1 is discussion and or action on matters regarding COVID-19. Elizabeth didn't have an update today, but I believe Commissioner Miller has some weekly stats to share.
Okay, thank you, Dustin. It looks like what they sent over from the Public Health District, we had right at 106 new positive COVID-19 cases. That's the week of April 30th through May 6th. At that time, we had one person in the hospital. They were a McLennan County resident. They were not on a ventilator, nor were they in our ICU. We have not had any additional deaths, gratefully. And so we're still at 862. And I remember, I think Commissioner Perry had asked for the total number of cases in recovery. We're right at 69,535 total cases, with 68,567 people recovering from COVID-19, and our community risk level is low.
Good
Okay.
news.
Is there a motion to approve for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M2, selection designation of public members of the Salary Grievance Committee regarding the FY23 budget. I believe we need to draw additional names.
Commissioner Perry, we need to draw 9 additional names.
9? How did I ever miss this the first time?
You weren't here.
Oh, you want me to read it too, right?
Oh, yeah, you gotta read them to the minutes.
Ooh, it was close. Dania Chapman. Thought it looked like Dustin at first. Teresa Morlock. Eugenia Judd. Estevan Trejo. Jessica Johnson. Kolawole Ayala. That's it?
6. 3 more.
3 more, all right. Linda Bogush. Casey Kirk. And the last lucky, Ralph Salzman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Dustin. Any action on that?
I don't believe any action's needed today. All right, moving on to item M5, authorization of appointment to the Waco Metropolitan Planning Organization, MPO Technical Advisory Committee. Zane?
Yes, sir. This item, the MPO Technical Advisory Committee, the last time we met, we approved a representative for the South Cities. We're looking for the court to appoint Erasmo Olivares of the city of Beverly Hills to represent the North Cities. And those North Cities are Golson, Leroy, Ross, West, and Beverly Hills. And this is again for the Technical Advisory Committee of the MPO.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve that selection.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass.
Item M6 regarding the Local Provider Participation Fund, LPPF, ratification of additional intergovernmental transfer of funds derived from the County Healthcare Provider Participation Fund. Heather?
Yes, on the 3rd, May 3rd, we came before the court and requested the RAPS IGT in the amount of $245,347.24 with the settlement date of the 5th, May 5th. And then on the evening of May 5th, we were notified by AHCB that Falls County had failed to submit their IGT information in the amount of $21,602.46. And so we moved forward with the addition of that IGT amount in favor of Falls County. And so I'm coming before the court today to ratify that IGT.
How long does somebody have to correct a mistake? I mean, does that go forever?
No, sir. Matter of fact, we had until that day. They came in at the last hour. Had it been probably an hour or two later, it would not have been able to be submitted. The IGTs have to be completed by a certain date and time. And so I'm not sure how it came to fruition that Falls County had not submitted theirs. I'm not sure if AHCB recognized it or if Falls County did. Either way, had it been an hour or two later, it would have not have made it on that IGT.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the ratification of the additional IGT.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
M8 is action to rescind previous approval to include Heart of Texas Fairground meters in the public power pool P3 list of McLennan County meters. And back in October of 2020, we approved enrolling the electric meters located at the fairgrounds onto our P3 contract. It would have covered April 2022 through December 2022, and then also in the upcoming procurement that would have started in January 2023. And just due to a variety of factors and with the way the market is currently, P3 was unable to get satisfactory pricing. And so the fair has contracted on their own. So we just need a motion to approve rescinding that previous approval.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass.
M9's Texas Association of Counties Risk Management Pool, authorization of 2022 property coverage renewal and related invoice. This is our annual renewal. It totals $361,660. That is an increase from last year, which was $293,024. And the coverage period is July 1st, 2022 to July 1st, 2023. And I know Commissioner Perry can share a little bit about the insurance market, but we did check with TAC and got a response back this morning that they're just seeing rates or increases are being driven by the property reinsurance market, and that their overall increase was about 15.8% for the Northeast property program.
And just to follow up on what Dustin said, there is a hard market right now, both with property and with auto. And there's gonna be a sizable increase from what we're hearing now in your cybersecurity coverages. So, just so we know what's coming down the pike.
Yeah. I guess a lot of that's driven by cost of, claims being higher because material costs are higher, service costs are higher, all those things.
These hard markets are, when you slip into them, they forecast it so much sooner than what we truly realize. And so this, about 6 months ago was when I was starting to hear about the market getting hard.
That's a 23% increase. What did he say? What did you say? Dustin?
15 on average.
15 on average. So we beat the average, Dustin?
Yes, sir, we did, unfortunately.
Yeah. Are there anybody else that insures counties?
Jim, we've looked at it and we did go through with a,
More than once.
yeah. The issue you run into is you're gonna find certain coverages that you're gonna find another vendor is gonna be more competitive. At the end of the day, where TAC is so competitive, their workers' comp is you just can't hardly beat that. And it typically, it's, if you wanted to pick and choose coverages, but TAC pretty much is an all or none. I don't think they're very willing to share coverages.
Piecemeal it?
Yeah.
Do we know who their reinsurer is? Is it still County Re?
You know, Commissioner Yolanda at TAC did not state that, but I can email her and ask for sure.
And it would be nice to have their financials.
Okay. Any other questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
M10 is authorization of refund requests for overpayment of real estate taxes under section 31.11A of the Texas Property Code. Those are in your packet, and it's Sandra Maddox totaling $4,451.54 and David Akins totaling $84,121.34.
Is that a business?
No, there's an individual, well, David Akins, I believe, owns Lockridge Priest,
Yeah, but
but this is probably personal. And then Sandy Maddox is from Mart, and she's the daughter of the Davis that, Mr. Davis that set up a foundation and has helped Mart from time to time significantly. So they have, both of them have quite a few taxes, and I don't know, I guess it's just error.
That's just a large amount of money.
Yeah.
Were these on, did these come back because of protest reviews or anything like that? Are we aware?
I don't believe they did. Francis, do
Or was
you?
it just a miscalculation?
I think it could be a variety of reasons. The tax office may need to give you an exact answer on it. I don't have that information with me.
Could those explanations be included when those requests are made? Why? In other words, why there's a request for 84, what it was attributed to by the tax office? Could they add that notation?
I would think so. I don't know if that's, we'd have to make sure, I guess, or
Public
Randy would have to make sure,
information.
yes,
Yeah.
that's not something
Right, I
private for
understand.
that property owner.
And I'm
All
looking at
refunds
the,
are audited as well when we audit the tax office each month.
sorry, I'm looking at the backup documentation, and on Sandra Maddox, she had checked the box that I paid this account in error and entitled to the refund. And then on David Akins, it stated I overpaid this account. Please refund the excess.
Thank you.
But no further description than that.
And we're, we're required to reimburse them.
Sure. Yeah, we need to.
Yeah. All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Under item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project, N1 is authorization of professional services invoice with CPNY. This is for their ADA study and report for the month of April. It totals $3,865.50.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Under item O, McLennan County Venue Project. O1 is regarding the architectural services agreement with Populous. O1A is authorization of professional services invoice. This is their April 2022 services for the dedication monument, and it totals $3,600.
All right, any questions?
Dustin, you know my question. We through?
We're through, yes, sir. Their total fee for this phase was $18,000, and this will bring us to 100% complete.
Thank you, sir.
All right, are there any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, Judge, we do have one other action item, the discussion on E3A HR matter for IT director position. Did y'all want to kind of talk about the timing of when to post with Anna?
Yes.
Judge, on item F1K, I was waiting to see if I got information, but I did not, so we
Okay.
could go ahead and defer that.
All right, is there a motion to defer F1K?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Okay. All right, Anna.
So for the IT director position, I emailed descriptions. We reviewed the IT director description just to be sure it was up to date. And if the court doesn't have any edits to that description, that's what we can post. And if the court would like to just provide me guidance on how soon they would like to see that published to accept applications.
How much information do you publish with the description? Do you put like salary, DOE, depending on education, or how do you?
So we publish basically that Word document that I send. Everything included in that description is what will be published for the applicant to view. So it includes a summary of the position, the essential functions of the position, basic minimum requirements for education and experience, along with other kind of environmental factors, what their workspace will be like and things like that. So that will be published along with the salary range for the position.
And refresh my memory, what salary range did you include in that publication?
So the position is currently budgeted for, I think it's 105,000.
Mm-hmm.
$105,531 is what the position is currently budgeted for. But we do have our compensation information ready. The information I prepare for budget session, and that market salary is.
What I'm just interested in, what are you going to put in the paper
Regarding salary.
regarding salary?
Right now, what we could publish is just the budgeted amount, which is that $105,000, $531, sorry. That's what we can publish. That's typically what we always publish, is what the budgeted amount is, unless the Commissioner's Court wanted to make a change to that.
But is there a range in the classification?
There is. So the maximum of the classification range, it's assigned an A35 pay grade. And that maximum is, sorry. $132,985 is the top of the A35 pay range, which is closer to the market information that we found, which is $131,569.
So that 132,
$132,985.
935?
85.
85.
132,985.
And that's a max of 835?
Yes, ma'am.
So is there anything wrong with advertising that range instead of just saying the budgeted position is?
She gives three numbers. She gives that budgeted salary 105, 531, and then she has HR recommends a salary of 131, 569, and then she gives the county average of 131, 211.
So I think for us to be able to post up to that higher amount, we would actually have to have that budget available. And so I see what Commissioner Perry's saying, almost like having that range available to be able to apply. And then of course, the court would set the salary for the new hire at that time when the position was hired. But I believe we would actually have to have that budget available to be able to post that range. And Francis or Anna can correct me on that.
And you'd be up to that amount. It doesn't mean that's what we'd have to pay.
That's right.
It'd be negotiated.
Definitely.
So I would ask the question, because I know we did modifications to the job description when we hired the last IT director. And then there was conversations that the job description changed, I guess, the range of pay or something. Help me on my recollection. Is this the job description that we used the last time, or is this the original job description that we have in front of us?
So what you have in front of you is the original description with the requirements as originally outlined when Waters first completed their countywide assessment. So this description would match the original Waters classification of an A35 with the education, and I believe it's 5 years of a bachelor's degree and 5 years of experience.
Okay, and it would liken it to an 835, and it falls under
Yes,
that
ma'am.
835?
Correct.
Then I think we do need to consider that maximum 835. I'm gonna throw something out that we did one time when we hired Robert Watson, the director that before our previous current director. They created a technology committee of professionals across the city in this profession. They had professionals from, I want to see, TSTC. They had, I'm not sure Baylor, but there were career professionals in the IT field that came and served as an advisory committee to the court. Because sometimes, you know, IT professionals, they start filling in their application and submitting their resumes, and we're a sharp group of people, but we really don't understand, can't decipher that language. So we don't know if we're reading a really great candidate or if we're just reading a lot of numbers and alphabets. And so what they did is they came in and they reviewed first the job description, and that's how I believe that's how we pretty much came up with the one that we posted for Robert when Robert was hired. Then they came in and they didn't interview, they just sort of visited with each applicant, and then they gave their summary to the court. And then, of course, the court went through the application process. And Robert at that time was the assistant to Dwayne Moore, I think his last. Can you remember Dwayne's last name? You sleep?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Caught you. No, but Dwayne, I think it was Dwayne Moore. He was
Yes.
Robert was his assistant, his
Yes,
assistant, and he did put his hat in the pot to be considered, but they went out a national search. And it just so happened that when they compared him with applicants across the country and across the state, he just was number one. And so I just wanted to throw that out there as a process that the court has used before to kind of give them direction, to guide them through the techno speak that we're getting ready to get
Immersed in.
inundated with, huh?
Immersed in.
Yes.
Well, I think, you know, we can always, take that under consideration. It's a good idea.
I think it is.
We, in this regard, on this action item, is, I think HR wants direction on when to post and what kind of, what we need to put out there. Which I think, court's in discussion is talking about, we need to go ahead and put the range in, because otherwise you might not get any, you might, if you don't put the maximum amount that you could pay, then you might not get that individual that was the criteria. It had to be over a certain amount for them to have an interest in it. And so, and you know, this is probably a hard position to fill because of its technical nature and the change that's going on in that industry. And so I would say the earlier the better. And I would go ahead and put the range in there, but we have to have a budgeted amount. We have to deal with the budget issue.
But that can always be done after, if it becomes apparent we need to make a budget amendment, we have that ability, correct?
I agree with the thought of, if this is the original job description, and this is the job description that has an individual that fits into an 835, then I don't see a problem budgeting that max for 835, because we always can say up to.
Right. And that was my thought process, is you don't eliminate anyone by just sharing what's budgeted, you share the range.
Right.
And then you're gonna get, I would think you get more people to apply.
Or you want the 105 to 135? Okay.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do see credence in your thought process there. That would be helpful in weeding. Is June 1st, is that an appropriate amount of time?
I think it gets the budget amendment on the agenda.
So, Anna?
I'm a little, so what are we talking about, publishing 105 or 132?
Between the range of.
Range.
The range.
Would be between 105 and 132.
That's what it would state. But is the hurdle that it's gotta be approved, the budget's gotta be approved for us to say that?
So I don't know if there's, you know, technically what you should or shouldn't there as far as posting versus the budget. But I mean, you would not, if you hired someone at that higher, you know, you told them this is what you're gonna make, and then y'all come back in here and three of y'all say, no, we're not increasing the budget, then, you know, we're locked into the budget. We can't exceed the
Right,
budget.
right.
But, you know, so I think it would be best to go ahead and amend the budget. But if you're not going to hire someone until, technically hire them until this next budget year, you know, each budget year stands alone anyway. So you could, I think it'd probably be prudent to go ahead and increase the budget and not, you know, because you're putting yourself out there that, yes, that's a
We
possibility.
can't be writing checks we can't cash.
Yes, but we technically, I guess, wouldn't be writing that check
It's
until
just a
next year.
timing issue is all.
It is, it is.
Right.
That's why June 1st fits. We post June 1st, and the budget amendment goes through court on May 31st.
So can we re-budget this year, that amount?
Sure, you can amend a salary, yes. It's in a way a budget amendment because you are amending that piece of the budget, the detail of the budget, the salary amount.
Okay.
I'm optimistic we're gonna have some, we are gonna have some candidates. So, you know, but I think it's gonna take at least the market to get there.
Yes.
So we need to be ready.
So, to be safe, then we should have the budget action before we have action on the description of the posting.
Again, it's a timing thing. I don't think it's
So May 31st, what's our next, is that our next Commissioners Court meeting?
That's the, yeah, the
Yes,
fifth
sir.
Tuesday.
That's a department head deal, right?
Okay. All right, we can squeeze that in. And then, I guess at the same time, we can consider what the posting will say, right? Because we'll be confident,
Right.
you know, that we didn't make a promise we couldn't deliver. Okay.
That was yesterday. We won't do it.
Anna, you clear with all that?
I think I just want to confirm the date. I know you just mentioned the budget amendment on the May 31st agenda, but I also heard somebody say June 1st for the publishing of the post.
Well, on May 31st, we'll consider, it could be anytime after May 31st, which June 1st would be real close. So, I would say yes, June 1st, we'll take in consideration on May 31st, the adjustment of the budget and the approval to post. And
Okay, and I know we just, the maximum was discussed, but the minimum of the range mentioned was the current budget, which is
Yes.
105.
Yes.
Typically, the minimum of the range is always the minimum of the assigned pay grade. That's
so how
what
much
we've
is that?
always- So that is 78,000
Okay.
and
Well,
$77.
we can make that determination on May 31st then,
Okay,
on what it'll say.
Right.
And we probably should,
Use the entire range.
yeah.
Well, now the only scary thing is, you know, sometimes a person really qualified and really good, and they may look at it and they don't know us and don't know where we would put them. They go, at the least I'd make 78. I'm not going to apply.
Well, I think they'd look at the range, you know. I don't think that's about, I think they're gonna look at the range, the whole deal, and they're gonna say, well, I'm going in there and negotiate on the higher end because of my qualifications, and we'll take that into consideration.
And we can negotiate.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes, we can, yeah. Yep. Okay, everybody clear? Anything else to come before the court?
Judge, did you want to discuss real property in executive session?
Yeah. So, no, you've got to leave. This won't take long.
And it's 551.072.
All right, we'll go into executive session under 551.072. session, which
Oh, okay,
I think all will happen is that we will adjourn.
okay.
But you
All
can
right.
never tell about this court, what they love.
Recording in progress.
Okay. It's 12:01. We're going back into regular session. All right, is there anything else to come before court today? If not, we stand adjourned.